Good morning. It is the 18th of June. I had a eventful day to say the least yesterday. It started off with being overcharged on the on my internet. Uh, Bill was not what I was told it was, and so I had to deal with that, and that took a long while. And there's a video on that about Blue Peak, and I'm going to leave that up there. So it's it's good for background noise. I don't expect anybody to sit down and watch how long it was. I was put on hold for a long time, but it was with that. Then I went to a car wash, and I didn't know this. Luckily, I had enough money in my account that for my $5 car wash for my tiny little car. That's about the extra size of it. The little Ford Festiva. It was $5, and I didn't even use all the minutes I should have, but $5. Um, they took out 21.50, and they say they give the money back, but that's what they normally take out. So I haven't checked that this morning. That may be refunded, but that I had to stop what I was doing to kind of check that because you want to deal with those things as fast as you can. And there's a guy that was in the office that told me that's what they do is they take out 21.50 and then they'll refund back to you. He didn't say how long it took, but it wasn't on there when I went to sleep last night. And I went to sleep around midnight. So, um, and then last but not least, I went 11 miles to deliver some cookies, and that was okay because it paid me $10. Not bad. Then when you're driving down the road, you can't safely look at every detail of the order, and I don't. And sometimes you can't see the details for the Uber Eats, and there was a $4 fare, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe they'll tip at the door. Well, it wasn't just 12 miles away from the restaurant that I picked it up at. It was 12 miles up Casper Mountain. And then when I got to where the location was supposed to be at, the GPS was telling me to turn into a field and a fence, and there was no road at all where it was telling me to turn. So I, these folks are expecting for $4 for somebody to come all the way up this huge mountain, steep grades, and I'm on a dirt road already, which is not ideal for a little car like mine. And they won't answer their phone. Then I text them. They didn't answer their text. And when somebody decides to own property up in a mountain, the last thing they probably want to see is civilization. And they don't want somebody knocking on their door. So I knocked on the door. In about 2 minutes, a lady kindly came out. And I explained everything I just explained to you about the directions. And I showed her the address, and she explained how to turn down this one road and this road. Well, I started to do that, and I'm almost to the point. I'm like, the sign that said a dead end, that it was saying turn right, was a dead end, and I didn't know to go down that. And then finally, the owner calls. I couldn't get a hold of Uber. Uber's hard to get a hold of on that situation. From the time that I first called the customer, while I'm dumbfounded on where to find their house, you understand this is a desolate area up in the mountains. There's a few houses, but um, 15 minutes went from the time that I called, text messaged, and then the owner Answered. 15 minutes. About 2 minutes after I knocked on that door, that nice lady's house, um, then I went from there. So for about 5 minutes, I was trying to get a hold of Uber, and then the lady called, the owner called. So I get there. I finally get there, and the road that they live on does not belong. You need a 4-wheel drive, not a Ford Festiva. And Uber Eats needs to, or and DoorDash as well needs needs to. They know what car I drive. You know, if I was to using it to haul passengers, and there were 6 people that need to be picked up, I would need a 6-passenger vehicle. For me to go down this rocky road, and it was a struggle for it. I mean, it was bumpy, and you know, it was steep, like a rolling hills. And I get there, and I'm still on the phone with the lady to make sure I get the right place. Then a guy comes out, and I explain to him, this is, I'm like exhausted. Back in my mind, I'm not happy about them not answering their phones for 15 minutes. It's getting dark. It's getting close to getting dark, and I got a long ways to go back. And they, I, you know, this against my best. I didn't see any money in his hand. I was hoping with a $4 fare for this that they would tip. Well, unfortunately, and when I got back, I see that it was a $2 charge that was required for Uber for me to do that, and they gave a $2 tip. So I'm trying to explain my frustration of going 12 miles for $4, hoping that they would tip, have some kind of integrity to tip. Instead, he says, well, now you know how to get here the next time. I told him there's not going to be a next time for me to do that. There's no way for $4 I'm coming out to do this. And you know what? That didn't bother him a bit. He paid $2 a tip, $2 for a charge. They knew $4 to go 24 miles up and down a huge mountain. And my clutch was almost out on the way down. Um, I had to stop a few times because I just sensed things were getting worn out. Anyways, that was my day. So I said, you know what? And that was all during the busiest lunch, the biggest dinner hour too. So um, for $4, I made some nice videos on TikTok. There's on if you look under Harry Cleven, Kleven. I've got a different YouTube as well that my phone's access to. I can't remember password for the life of me. So um, this YouTube is on my computer. That YouTube's on my phone, and maybe I'll connect a introductory video for that soon. All right, blah blah blah. Enough of that. Yada yada yada. But at the at the end of the day, I felt like kissing the ground. Felt like a passenger on a bumpy airplane ride. Um, I got some beautiful shots of the from the. I've never been up that far. It was past the Hogadon thing by some camp Saganakawa or something like that. I'm not trying to botch that, but I don't know how to say it. Saginaw, I'm not sure. But yeah, anywho, that was my day yesterday, and I'm starting this. You know what I didn't do yesterday? I didn't start doing what I'm doing today. Getting up in the morning, doing a few things. My cat's outside on her little catio, enjoying the wildlife of the birds, enticing her, and she'll be ready to come in after the time I get done reading here. But We'll read chapter 4, 5, and 6 of the First Samuel in the King James Version. Chapter 4. And the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel went out against the Philistines to battle, and pitched beside Ebenezer, and the Philistines pitched in Ephek. And the Philistines put themselves in array against Israel, and when they joined battle, Israel was smitten before the Philistines, and they slew of the army in the field about 4,000 men. And when the people were come into the camp, the elders of Israel said, Wherefore hath the Lord smitten us today before the Philistines? Let us fetch the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of Shiloh unto us, that when it cometh among us, it may save us out of the hand of our enemies. So the people sent to Shiloh, that they might bring from thence the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth between the cherubims. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni, and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. And when the ark of the covenant of the Lord came into the camp, all Israel shouted with a great shout, so that the earth rang again. And when the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, What meaneth the noise of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews? And they understood that the ark of the Lord was come into the camp. And the Philistines were afraid, for they said, God is come into the camp. And they said, Woe unto us, for there hath not been such a thing heretofore. Woe unto us, who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods that smote the Egyptians, and in it it's capitalized GODS. With all the plagues in the wilderness, be strong and quit yourselves like men, O ye Philistines, that ye be not servants unto the Hebrews as they have been to you. Quit yourselves like men and fight. And the Philistines fought, and Israel was smitten, and they fled every man into his tent, and there was a great slaughter, for there fell of Israel 30,000 footmen. And the ark of the covenant was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were slain. And there ran a man of Benjamin out of the army, and came to Shiloh the same day with his clothes rent, and with earth upon his head. And when he came, lo, Eli sat upon a seat by the wayside, watching. For his heart trembled for the ark of God. And when the man came into the city and told it, all the city cried out. And when Eli heard the noise of the crying, he said, What meaneth the noise of this tumult? And the man came in hastily and told Eli. Now Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were dim, that he could not see. And the man said unto Eli, I am he that came out of the army. I fled today out of the army. And he said, What is there done, my son? And the messenger answered and said, Israel is fled before the Philistines, and there hath been also a great slaughter among the people, and thy sons also. Hophni and Phinehas are dead, and the ark of God is taken. And it came to pass, when he made mention of the ark of God, that he fell from off the seat backward by the side of the gate, and his neck brake. And he died, for he was an old man and heavy, and he had judged Israel 40 years. And his daughter-in-law, Phinehas' wife, was with child, and near to be delivered. And when she heard the tidings that the ark of God was taken, and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she bowed herself and travailed, for her pains came upon her. And about the time of her death, the women that stood by her said unto her, Fear not, for thou hast borne a son. But she answered not, neither did she regard it. And she named the child Ichabod, saying, The glory is departed from Israel, because the ark of God was taken, and because of her father-in-law and her husband. And she said, The glory is departed from Israel, for the ark of God is taken. It's like my kitty's trying to get out. Chapter 5. And the Philistines took the ark of God and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod. When the Philistines took the ark of God, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. And when they of Ashdod arose early in the morrow, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Lord. And they took Dagon and set him in his place again. And when they rose early on the morrow morning, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord. And the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands were cut off upon the threshold. Only the stump of Dagon was left to him. Therefore, neither the priest of Dagon nor any that come into Dagon's house tread on the threshold of Dagon in Ashdod unto this day. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them of Ashdod, and he destroyed them, and smote them with emerods, even Ashdod and the coast thereof. And when the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, they said, The ark of the God of Israel shall not abide with us, for his hand was sore upon us and upon Dagon our God. They sent therefore and gathered all the lords of the Philistines unto them, and said, What shall we do with the ark of the God of Israel? And they answered, Let the ark of the God of Israel be carried about unto Gath. And they carried the ark of the God of Israel about thither. And it was so, that after they had carried it about, the hand of the Lord was against the city with a very great destruction. And he smote the men of the city, both small and great, and they had emerods in their secret parts. Therefore they sent the ark of God to Ekron. And it came to pass, as the ark of God came to Ekron, that the Ekronites cried out, saying, They have brought about the ark of God of Israel to us, to slay us and our people. So they sent and gathered together all the lords of the Philistines, and said, Send away the ark of the God of Israel, and let it do again to his own place, that it slay us not and our people, for there was a deadly destruction throughout all the city. The hand of God was very heavy there. And the men that died not were smitten with the emerods, and the cry of the city went up to heaven. Chapter 6. And the ark of the Lord was in the country of the Philistines 7 months. And the Philistines called for the priests and the, the diviners, saying, What shall we do to the ark of the Lord? Tell us wherewith we shall send it to his place. And they said, If ye send away the ark of the God of Israel, send it not empty, but in any wise return him a trespass offering, then ye shall be healed, and it shall be known to you why this hand is not removed from you. Then said they, What shall be the trespass offering which we shall return to him? They answered, 5 golden emerods and 5 golden mice, according to the number of the lords of the Philistines, for one plague was on you all, and on your lords. Wherefore ye shall make images of your emerods, and images of your mice that mar the land, and ye shall give glory unto the God of Israel. Peradventure he will lighten his hand from off you, and from off your gods, and from off your land. Wherefore they do ye harden your hearts, as the Egyptians and Pharaoh hardened their hearts. When he had wrought wonderfully among them, did they not let the people go, and they departed? Now therefore make a new cart, and take two milch kin, on which there hath come no yoke, and tie the kine to the cart, and bring their calves home from them. And take the ark of the Lord, and lay it upon the cart, and put the jewels of gold which ye return him for a trespass offering, in a coffer by the side thereof, and send it away, that it may go. And see if it goeth up by the way of his own coast to Beth Shemesh, then he hath done us this great evil. But if not, then we shall know that it is not his hand that smote us. It was a chance that happened to us. And the men did so, and took two milchkin, and tied them to the cart, and shut up their calves at home. And they laid the ark of the Lord upon the cart, and the coffer with the mice of gold, and the images of their emerods. And the kin took the straight way to the way of Beth Shemesh, and went along the highway, lowing as they went, and turned not aside to the right hand or to the left. And the lords of the Philistines went after them unto the border of Beth Shemesh. And they of Beth Shemesh were reaping their wheat harvest in the valley. And they lifted up their eyes, and saw the ark, and rejoiced to see it. And the cart came into the field of Joshua a Beth Shemite, and stood there, where there was a great stone. And they clave the wood of the cart, and offered the kin a burnt offering unto the Lord. And the Levites took down the ark of the Lord, and the coffer that was with it, wherein the jewels of gold were, and put them on the great stone. And the men of Beth Shemesh offered burnt offerings and sacrificed sacrifices the same day unto the Lord. And when the five lords of the Philistines had seen it, they returned to Ekron the same day. And these are the golden emerods, which the Philistines returned for a trespass offering unto the Lord. For Ashdod one, for Gaza one, for Askelon one, for Gath one, for Ekron one. And the golden mice, according to the number of all the cities of the Philistines belonging to the five lords, both of fenced cities and of country villages, even unto the great stone of Abel. Whereon they set down the ark of the Lord, which stone remaineth unto this day in the field of Joshua, the Beth Shemite. And he smote the men of Beth Shemesh, because they had looked into the ark of the Lord. Even he smote of the people 50,000 and threescore and 10 men. And the people lamented, because the Lord had smitten many of the people with a great slaughter. And the men of Beth Shemesh said, who is able to stand before this holy Lord God? To whom shall he go from us? And they sent messengers to the inhabitants of Kirjath Jearim, saying, the Philistines have brought again the ark of the Lord. Come ye down and fetch it upon you. That is the end of the reading of today. I'm looking for my. I think I took the envelope away that was in here. I'll just find something else here. Here you go. We'll use that. Okay. That is the end of the reading of today, folks. And wow, this wasn't even in. Folks, I just did that whole thing without a microphone. So hopefully you can lip read. Wow.